Hi, Cities. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video from a sister where she was talking about the language these people understand, and she also explained her reasons why she said what she said. Now, and I absolutely understand where she is coming from because majority of the times people that look like me are always like, let's just relax, let's not do anything because, like, I don't want to get into trouble, which I understand. Maybe someday all these things are going to be over, and then you are waiting for someday. It looks like the someday is going to be like forever, that it may actually not go away. But then she talked about how matching energy is just the only way to get some of them to, like, lay back and all that. And also a brother told his story how in his school he was like, somebody on his face, and at the same time, like, called him the N word with hard R, and then he ended up engaging the chat, like, that boy. And as that was happening, they ended up being in the principal's office, and while he was also investigating about that young boy, the boy, like, he went into, like, with, and then found out that the parents have Confederate flag. And then I am going to say something. I have actually noticed some certain things, especially when it comes to a group of people. I feel like majority of the things they do to people that look like me is just something that they learn from their parents. Because don't tell me how somebody all of a sudden learns so much. Hey, for other people. This is not something people will just, like, from nowhere learn. It's something that they learn from from their background. But you know what? Let's get into this.
White people only speak one language. It's not English. It's not Spanish. It's not Creole. It's not French. It's none of that. These colonizers only speak one language. And that language is called violence, theft, lies, distortion. They do not speak the language that you want them to speak so badly. You cannot force a people who only know violence to understand your light. And them talking to you all about love and light and kundalini, this and that, is all a scam. It's not in them to speak to you about it. It's not in them for them to understand it. They have done everything in their power to destroy who you are. And yet, you still want to speak your own language. They only speak the language of violence. You cannot fight them with love and understanding, so-called love, because love doesn't really exist. It's a scam, people. No such thing as love. But that's another subject for another day. Have you ever asked yourself, why can they commit all these atrocities and still walk on this earth? It's because you have a lack of understanding. And as much as I want you to know that you are intelligent, Black people, you're not using your intelligence. You're not using rationality and critical thinking. Because as soon as they bought you that Bible, all your senses were out the door. You cannot fight colonizers with peace and integration. You have to fight them with extreme violence. An eye for an eye. And we don't want to admit this out of fear because of what they have presented in the media is nothing but fear. From Rodney King, Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Carmelo Anthony, Emmett Till, these are our ancestors. These are souls that have taken the body, our ancestors. When will you all understand? You cannot fight colonizers by being rational, by being thoughtful, by showing empathy. Matter of fact, you should show no empathy. When you see them fall on the ground, let them fucking fall. When you see them crying, let their fucking tears flow. Because that's what they have done to you and your children. To the black woman, to the black man, to the black child, to black and brown children, to the indigenous children, to the aboriginal children. That's what they have done. And the fact that a lot of you are still, oh, I will pray for you, is out of pure stupidity and a lack of common sense. I'm beginning to believe, matter of fact, I am knowing that a lot of you black women that are still in the church, you are our opposition. You are our opposition. You are the ops. Because who exactly are you working for? I mean, if this is spiritual warfare, if this is spiritual warfare, and you are holding on to a weapon that they have used against your community, and you are using that same weapon, does that not make you the enemy? Do you really think, because you're a black woman, that I have motherfucking respect for you? That I have to have respect for you? You're a fucking sellout. Scum of the earth. There's a lot of you who will do anything for the enemies of the black community. And that is a fucking fact. We don't need to pretend anymore. It is what it is. There are a lot of you who are willing to destroy your children, your grandchildren, just to be a part of the colonizers, just so they can accept you, just so you could look good in their eyes, good people. You're a joke. You're a joke. That language that they speak is only violence. Keep that in mind. The next time one of them do something to you or your children. that they don't understand nothing but violence. And before I stop this video, I've noticed a lot of you, when you're talking to those degenerates, you're calling them sir and ma'am and all that shit. Like they're somebody, they're nothing. All that better stop. Ain't no motherfucking sir when you see those degenerates in uniform. All that shit gonna stop. You're gonna respect women. The black woman, the indigenous woman, the brown women, the aboriginal woman. You're gonna respect us.
I was spit in the face by a white kid in middle school as he called me the hard R. The year of 2016, I went to this predominantly white middle school. Despite this being a very safe school, there were still a handful of students with Confederate backgrounds. For those who are wondering, this was in North Carolina. At the end of every lunch, we get to have recess, but a couple of periods at a time. One of our teachers on the microphone said, "Today, you guys are getting 45 minutes of recess instead of 30. We all went, hurrah, and many of us started sprinting to the field. 25 minutes go by, we're chilling in the middle of the field and we're having a blast. Until this boy decided to show up, who we are going to call Ryan. Ryan was pale as a ghost, 2 inches shorter than me, and had a 1950s German haircut. This is where shit gets wild. Ryan was some reason pacing back and forth in my proximity. One of my friends pointed it out and said, "Hey, that guy keeps looking at you." "Really? Who?" I asked. "The guy to your right that's actively staring at you right now." I was laying down in the grass, chilling. I look to my right and I see this guy sprinting towards me. At this point, I thought he was going to start attacking me because I was in no position to throw hands. He finally came up to me and he decided to spitball right in my face. Like, you can see it clear as day. It was obvious that he took his time to accumulate all that spit. Like, right in the face, right there. And some of it got in my mouth. Fucking sat there, which felt like an eternity because I was still trying to process what the fuck happened to me. But I only had one thing in mind: to beat the brakes off this kid. That's exactly what the fuck I did. I got my black ass up and continued to chase him down like I was a bloodhound. Caught up to him, grabbed him by the collar, boom, right in the face. All I heard in the background was, "Yo, Ryan got in a fight with the black kid." Excuse me? Now, this part is important because it relates to the future. We are throwing hands, at least so I thought. He's on the ground, I'm throwing punches, he's looking up trying to throw some punches back. Like I said, so it seems. The teachers come sprinting out into the field. They're breaking up the fight. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Ryan said, "I don't know what happened. He just started attacking me." "I know you fucking lying." Teacher looked at me and said, "Is that true?" "Hell no, it ain't true. That Stuart Little built like a fucking chicken tender spit in my mouth." They broke up the fight and they sent us to the principal's office. Sitting outside the principal's office, they called our parents, and Ryan's parents showed up fast. Ryan's parents went into the principal's office and they were in that bitch for like 30 minutes. The last 5 minutes, I heard the mom go, "Are you kidding me?" First, I thought, oh shit, I'm in some real deep trouble. Come out the door and they give me a nasty ass look. I didn't like that shit at all. They walk away and the principal called me in next. Looks at me and says, "Do you know why you're here?" I'm like, look, teach, can we skip through the bullshit? Like, am I getting expelled or what? I looked at the footage of the incident and it appears that you were actually the victim of the situation. "Oh, well, I'm surprised you even had a camera installed that is able to see that far." Continued to explain and said, "We saw that he spit on your face and called you the hard R. And we also have other people confirming this as well." "Oh, well, I'm glad you can understand my situation." She said, however what? "The guy spit in my face and called me a hard R." She reasoned with me. She was like, "Listen, I understand. Because he spit in your face and some of that got in your mouth, you may have to go to the doctor to get checked out. And to top it all off, he called you a slur, right? And I understand how you and him came to blows. Okay? But when you and him were fighting, it looked like he was the victim." I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" She turned around the monitor and she shows a video of me beating the brakes off this kid. After taking a closer look, he wasn't really fighting back. He was just trying to block the punches. It was all like that. At one point, I was dragging him across the field. One of his shoes flew off. I'm not gonna say some cringy shit like, "Oh, I saw it was red," because that wasn't the case. I was very, aware of what I was doing. But I think I missed a few steps. I never had audio. I heard this guy scream, and one of my friends said, "This is a lame-ass fight." What? All I heard was screams and, "Oh, shit!" Paused the video, turned back to monitor, and said, "I'm going to give you at least 3 days of suspension. Like, I have to punish you somehow." She relieved my thoughts, saying, "I completely understand, and Ryan will be getting 3 weeks of suspension." I'm like, hallelujah. I gathered my stuff from the classroom and I went to detention. On the way there, one of my friends stopped me. He's like, "Hey, bro, I found Ryan's Instagram page. You should take a look at this." He showed me his Instagram, and Ryan had loads of pictures with Confederate flags in the background. Ford F-150s everywhere, covered in mud. His father had a tattoo on his chest saying freedom. It's like, damn, not everything makes sense. Oh, and by the way, there's one more thing I got to show you. He pulled up his hand with the ice cube tied to his wrist and said, "I got the ice on my wrist." Shut up. I need to go to detention. I'm not in a good mood. It was like, that was pretty funny, huh? That was pretty funny. Yeah, Connor, it was so funny. Look, I gotta go. I'll see you later. And that's one of my many stories of experiencing racism. And there's plenty more where that came from.
This is all I got from this video. And Onyx's story was kind of, I love the way he told his story. And yeah, this sister, there is also something I have noticed from everything she talked about. Like, one thing they do understand is value, but the reality is that they are always the victim in the end, even when they are the problem. I don't know why. I don't know why they always have this pity for them. I don't know if it's just because of the way they are, or because they from the onset they already feel like we are not supposed to feel pains. We are not, no matter how bad somebody upsets you, you are not probably supposed to react. You are not supposed to show. You are not supposed to, express how bad you feel. I don't know if that does make sense, right? But there is something I have also understood about people that look like me, especially those ones that you can easily deceive with Bible. Like immediately you brought up a Bible verse, some people's senses just run out of the door. And it looks like they were all being sold out, or the story is crazy, or I don't know. But I think sometimes we really need to keep Bible aside, because some people, the only language they understand is energy for energy, aura for aura. It's just like the way this young boy, the way he has been like upsetting him, and then decided to on his face, and also use the hard R on him. But then I sometimes sit down and I am like, do parents really sit their kids down, especially do they really sit their kids down and talk to them about not being racist towards people that look like me, or in general, not to behave badly with people, not to probably bully, not to call names, not to do some certain things. But at the same time, there is something I have also found out about people. Majority of the times, it is how the parents behave. I don't know if this is true, but I think I am 99% correct on this. Feel free to correct me in the comment section if you think this is not okay. Majority of times, kids pick up their behavior from their parents. Yes. What their parents do is also what they start doing once they start growing, because from tender age, you are their teacher. And then they learn all that from you. And then finding out also that they have Confederate flag and all that also shows something. Because the idea of probably going to school and being mean to your fellow student, not just only being mean, using slurs on the person, or I don't know, but I think some people were just they breed them differently, that they even do not have that sense of right and wrong, or maybe they have it, but they decided to kill the sense of wrong. Because if you have both of them, you definitely will know when you are about to do some certain things and the rest of it, right? So, like this beautiful sister said, they do not understand cruel They do not understand some languages, but the only language they understood is that language of V. And one thing is that sometimes, no matter how tough they think they are, you definitely will meet someone that will teach you a lesson. And there is also something that I found out about Black people, I think it's not just only for my people that look like me, I think it's in general. We Africans do it too. I mean, we believe that no matter what, let's just convenience ourselves that one day things will be okay, that one day things will get better. But my question is, when will it be okay? When will it be okay? And this is also one of the reasons why when you see them sometimes trying to tighten up their spaces and all that, trying to protect their race because they are kind of scared that one day you might stop tolerating and not want to even listen to anything. You just want to take action. So sometimes they feel like, man, we have to tighten up some certain things because if these people get into some certain spaces, we are definitely gone. But the truth is that it is time for Black people to stop tolerating some certain things. It is because you are tolerating it. That's why they feel no matter how hard they upset you, that you are not going to do anything. I am going to draw the curtain here and I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.